Very good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Studio 7 Live Talk, coming to you live from the Voice of America in Washington, this Thursday, December 18th, 2014. Welcome to the women's segment, the Women's Roundtable. Ngati kurukurei madzimai, I'm Marvelous Mhlanganyahuye.
And I'm Praxidis Jeremiah.
And today we're discussing the high incidence of viral videos on social networks portraying women negatively and celebrating their harassment.
To join our discussion, you can phone us directly on 001-202-619-2077. The number again, 001-202-619-2077. And we'll call you back.
And as you know, Live Talk goes out to Zimbabwe on the 909 medium wave frequency and on the 4930, 5940 and 15455 kilohertz shortwave, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. But for you ladies out there, Thursday is your day, the Women's Roundtable.
And we are also on the web. You can find us on www.voashona.com, kumbe njalo www.voazimbabwe.com, kumbe njalo ku www.voandebele.com.
And PJ, earlier on we had an interview with Fungai Machirori, the director of Her Zimbabwe, an organization that actually educates women on how to protect themselves on social media. Let's take a listen at the encouraging words that she had to share on how women can protect themselves on social media.
We wrote an article today about the sharing of videos and content without people's consent, particularly women, content that tends to be very damaging to their characters and their public image. What we are basically saying in the article is that we need to start looking at ways that women can protect themselves and create safe spaces for themselves in how they share content, because it seems that digital media, we can't really control its reach and the way information is circulated. So the next best thing that one can do is try to use secure methods of sharing information. For instance, just logging out of your account every time you use it, especially in a public space, because someone else can log into that same machine and find your Facebook open and start posting as yourself or extracting information from your account. The same thing as well on your own phone, because if your phone happens to be stolen and someone picks it up and everything is live and active, they can do the same thing. So there are those simple methods that we can use. Try to use different passwords for different things and don't share your password with anyone else. Also, on the bigger scale, there are digital tools that one can use to protect their data. Some of them are free and open source. They can be downloaded online, and they can generate all sorts of information that just protects you. For instance, randomizing your IP address, which is the address allocated to your computer, or in terms of wiping out files that may sit on your machine, but making them look like they are not actual files. For instance, if you have sensitive documents, you can create a folder which sort of it hides everything in that folder but looks like something else. It can look like a video file. And if someone tries to get into your system, they will see something that looks like a video file, which will not play, but which will just not show any of your other files.
What do you advise women, especially those in relationships where they have found themselves in compromising positions, where they've actually sent video content to their better half and then find it being circulated on the internet or on WhatsApp?
The more immediate things that people can do, but there is a bigger scheme where you can find out more about digital security and empower yourself with those tools. But it still boils down to trust, who you trust with your content. Do you trust your boyfriend enough that, if you give him pictures of yourself in the nude, that he won't circulate them should you break up? That's something that you can't foresee or forecast. The truth is you really can't control what someone does with data. I think we saw that in the Tino Ponakatsande case, wherein her video was taken to a newspaper, a news publication, and excerpts were then published. There was seemingly no recourse to action of a legal nature from that case. So it seems that in as much as we do have, laws about, and our constitution talks about, the person and protection thereof, there seems to not be any legal mechanism, unlike in different countries that are now promulgating such laws that can protect people from such things. I mean, defamation of character, I don't know if that has been pursued before, but that to me seems like the most obvious route to take. But in the absence of absolute trust, there's no relationship or person that you can say 100% trust in his, in that, or in them. But in the absence of that, we have to find other means to protect ourselves. And sometimes it just means sharing less.
And PJ, that there was Fungai Machirori, the director of Her Zimbabwe, which is an organization that educates women on how to protect themselves on social media and other platforms as well. But as you know, opinion is divided over the use of social media by members of the public in the advent of platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook. Most women rights organizations are enraged at some of the viral videos that have been circulating on social media. The most recent, as you know, is that the one that has really sparked outrage is a video of a young lady being accosted by touts at a taxi rank right in the clear view of some security enforcers who stood by and seemed to take no action.
Yeah, I saw that one too. And there is another one. Earlier in the week, a video of a woman in divorce proceedings with her in-laws, the cultural Kupiwa Gupuro, following allegations of infidelity, were posted on social media, creating an uproar as well from rights activists. The invasion of privacy comes into play here, especially on the video of the women in divorce proceedings, is now really sparked an uproar and started the discussion around patriarchy and cultural practices as well.
Yes, PJ, and a good note coming up. I just received some news before we came on air that in light of all this development, the Women's Coalition of Zimbabwe will be holding a press conference tomorrow at the Zimbabwe Women's Coalition offices at Corner 7th Street and Herbert Chitepo to discuss the way forward, because these are incidences that people actually look at and then circulate on social media. And, during that time, nobody's actually questions about what they're doing.
The conference is at Zimbabwe Women's Resource Center and Network, ZWRSCN, on Corner 7th Street and Herbert Chitepo, as you said, marvelous.
And hopefully some good will come out of that conference.
Yes, yeah. I think there was also some discussions even today in which our own Mavis Gama attended a workshop on human rights and the media.
Really, that's very interesting, because I think this cause is also, we have young children. It doesn't only touch women. It touches families as well.
Yes.
How they use the social media. What are they posting out there? So we need to be really, on the lookout to make sure that we are also conscientizing our own children on how to use the social media.
I understand that the husband of that lady who was caught on video on the divorce proceedings, her picture and her children were also put on the network, on the social network, but it was pulled down by human rights activists and women's rights activists as well.
And I think that's a good move there, because the children are really innocent.
Yeah, they didn't choose their parents.
Yes, you're right there. But also, social media has also worked for some people, like socialite Pokelo Nare. She had a sex tape with singer Stana, and she became the Kim Kardashian of Zimbabwe. So, opinions are really divided. But
but at the same time, I wouldn't say it worked well for her using those means. I would call another example, a good example of like the uprising in Egypt, for instance. They used the social media.
Yes.
The uprising in other countries that happened, was it 2 years ago? Those sort of things are helpful to the nation and to the women's society as a whole. Lamhlanje kuhlelo lwethu sihluzeni bomama sibamba ke indaba eziphathelane lenkundla lezi esezibuyile ezabuya lemitshina le yangalezi insuku, i-technology yangalezi insuku. sabona ke sokusiba labo Facebook iFacebook leyi isitholise abanye amathuba kodwa ke yaphambanisa abanye impilo zabo imizi yachitheka eminye imizi njalo yakhiwa kodwa ke namhlanje sigxile kakhulu edabeni oluphume ensukwini ezedluleyo ngathi ngamavidiyo amabili aphumileyo akamama unkosikazi okade saliwa ephiwa ngosiko lesishona okuthiwa yigubhuro esesaliwa ngoba ebanjwe elesikomba kodwa ke yafakwa enkundleni le abantu abanye bahleka abanye njalo bamzwela umama lo okade saliwa ngoba kade ekhala njalo abantu abakhe bafakwa khona lapho izinto ezinjalo ukuthi nxa sizingena lapha ku social network ziba njani ziphambanisa njani impilo zethu njengabo mama imuli zethu isociety as a whole eZimbabwe ukuthi yikho esikubambayo namhlanje
chokwadi icho PJ nhasi muchirongwa chedu ngatikurukurei madzimai tiri kutarisa zvatiri kuona zviri kuitika PJ padandemutande reindaneti uyezve tingati futi pamafoni nekuti WhatsApp iri pafoni tinoona vhiki rapfuura nezuro chaiye takaona mwana wechidiki musikana achibviswa iye hembe
tachulelwa izigqoko
achishungurudzwa navana windi pane imwe taxi rank muHarare izvi zvaita kuti madzimai nevamwewo vakaona izvi zvichiitika vati ivo aiwa hazvingarambe zvichiita zvakadaro nekuti zvinoita kuti mwanasikana asazokura ane chimiro chakanaka uyezve achiziva kuti aiwa ane kodzero dzake semwanasikana saka tiri kuona kuti pari zvino takatarisana neimwe vhidhiyo yakabuda paFacebook neipo paWhatsApp yevamwe amai vanga vari kupiwa gupuro nemurume wavo tinoziva zvedu kuti pane zvatakaona vainzi ivo vakange vaita zvisina kunaka saka pari zvino ndo zvatiri kunyanyotarisa kuti zvii zvingaitwe kuti tiwanikidzwe isu tichichengetedza kodzero dzemadzimai uyezve tinoona kuti mangwana kuchange kune musangano mukuru imomo muHarare wekutarisa kuti pangagadziriswe sei kuti madzimai asawanikwe iwo achishungurudza ipapa padandemutande reindaneti pangave pari paFacebook kana paWhatsApp.
Emhlangano lowu uzakwenzelwa emahofisini abeZimbabwe Women's Resource Center and Network kukhona 7th Street Law Herbert Chitepo eHarare ukuthi sicebisane njengabomama ukuthi singaluphatha njani lolu daba lwetechnology. Olunye itechnology leyi isifundise abanye njalo yabaphambanisa ukuthi bayisebenzisa ngendlela engayisiyo.
PJ tinenge tawana munyarikani wedu wekutanga tinavo vese vaviri tombotanga negweta muzvare rache uchibaya tinokuchingamidzai pano pachirongwa chedu. Hello muzvare chifamba tokuchingamidzai.
Maika yenyu.
Aiwa muri kuinzwa iri mugango iyi takanyanyotarisa nenyaya yemwanasikana uyo watiri kunzwa kuti akawanikwa iye achishungurudzwa PJ wandiri kutaura naye kunoku navana windi amene kuti mimi munozvibata sei sesangano reshamwari yemwanasikana?
Waita hako nyaya iyi yanga iri kungobuda padandemutande sekutaura kwatamboita kuya rega ndimbotibatei zvishoma panyaya yemudzimai uyu wokutanga kuburitswa achizvideredzera kuti murume ari kuti handichadi nekuti uri kufungidzwa kuti wawanikwa uine chikomba. Zvinondishamisa ndechekuti isusu madzimai ndofunga kubvira kare koka takangobvira achitarisirwa pasi nekuti chatinoziva ndechekuti murume akaita mumwe mukadzi kunze hakudaidzwe dare chero kati ndakwenda kunotaurira madzitete ndo zviri kuita murume zvinonzi ndo zvavanoita vese shingirira nekuti imba asi chinoshamisa ndechekuti mukadzi akanga azonzwika kuti aita chimwe chete ichocho musha wese unodeedzwa kusanganisira hama dzake nehama dzemurume kuti uyai muone paitika mashura nekuti munhu wemudzimai kwete nekuti zvaaita zvinenge zvakanaka asi kana chinyangadzo chiri chevanhu vairi chinofanira kubatwa nemutoo umwe chete. Chikonzero ndicho chiri kuzoita kuti madzimai mazhinji aramba akagara mudzimba kunyange dai vasiri kubatwa zvakanaka, kunyange dai vari kushungurudzwa, nekuti anotozviona kunge iye ane mhosva, anotsvaga nzira dzekuzviudza kuti ndini ndakanganisa, svikei kutosvika pakuguma zvochinobata kumwana wedu musikana anokura achizviona, nekuti anongofunga kuti mai paya pavaidai vaiona sekunga ndivo vatadza, ndofunga ndivo vaitadza, naiye anokura aine mwoyo mumwe chetewo, kuti munhu anongoonekwa semunhu muupenyu, munhurume kwete munhu womukadzi. Kuchiuya panyaya iyi musikana angakura zvakare padande mudande nenyaya yekuti akawanikwa nanahwinji akapfeka hembe yavanoti kwavari ivo ipfupi. Isu mukuziva kwedu nekuona kwedu nekuongorora, munhu wese ane kodzero yekupfeka mapfekero anofunga kuti kana ndakaapfeka aya pandiri akandinakira, nekuti kangani ko katinoona vanhurume vakapfeka zvavanopfeka, vanopfeka mashotsi, vanopfeka mavhesi, isu sevanhukadzi hatina kwatakamboenda tikaita mhopoto nekuvakurura kuti mapfekero enyu atikanganisa. Zvinozongoonekwa basi kana zvako vana vedu vasikana, hazisi kungomukanganisa pachaunga pazaitikira chete, nekuti kwaataenda ikokoko ataenda unozvitarisa, anozviona sechiro chisina basa. Ndo panotangira vana vedu kushaya yatinoti confidence pachirungu, nekuti nyange dai atoo kuchikoro chaiko anongofunga kuti pandichasimuka ndichitaura zvandoda kutaura zvireve chinhu, nyange dai aona zvinomukanganisa, nekuti vanhurume ivavava ndivo vamwe chetewo vatiri kugara navo munharaunda. Akanga aona zvinomukanganisa kuti adzokera anoti ndadai zvinonzi muruku, ndopaunoona paya zvimwe zvikonzero zviri kupiwa nevanhurume zvekubata vana zvibharo, kuti vanotaura kuti tinobata zvibharo nekuda kwemapfekero, ko vana vari kubatwa zvibharo vane makore mairi vaonekwa kupfeka chii.
Aiwa, tinotenda mumbobata makadaro. PJ siyamukele unkosazana Nomsa Neke, siyakwamukela kuhlelo.
Siyabonga.
Kunjani kona ngapho eBhilitani?
Ngiyabanda.
Sesihlanganiswa izinkundla lezi ezebulenjini, oFacebook, oWhatsApp. Uyibonile lawe indaba lezi esikhuluma ngazo ezimbili zama videos that have gone viral. Ukuthi usebenzisa esikwenzayo ama social networks lawa kufanele na kumbe kulezinye indlela esingazisebenzisa ukuba sixazulule indaba zethu?
I think at the moment, I think if ama social networks are out of hand, to be honest, zikhona ezinye izinto ezingafanelanga ukuthi zingabonwa ngomhlaba wonke, ezingafanele ukuthi zisolve ngama-families and stuff like that. Like mama lwane couple lana Deveni family and stuff like that. I don't think at any point that they should even have gone out of the house. And thina indlela esikhule ngayo, even amanye ama-family members wouldn't even know what happened. That's how we could understand it was an ubuntu bethu. So naso kufika kulesa stage ukuthi i-Facebook ingena umhlaba wonke. You understand what I don't even know the family, but now when you say that into esiportray vele ukuthi isinto asisekho and konke lokho kukhozwa yiyo i-social network yona le.
Kwenziweni ke lokho kokantombazana lo dajulelwe isigqoko sakhe ngoba kuthiwa ubegqoke imini. Angikwazi ukuthi lapha izindaba ezimbili engizibonayo lapha, ukudajulelwa ngowindi kanye lokuthi faka ilokhuzeni ivideo yangikhona emphakathini ngolunye njalo olunye udaba.
Yeah, nazo kufika khona ekudabuleni khona ukuthi ukubonisa ukuthi abantu umuntu wesifazana abamboni njengomuntu
abamqhakathekisi.
Yeah, it's just like an object. Ukuthi ugqoke into lento egqokile ngoba uyayithanda and ufila confident ukuthi ugqoke naleya nto naleya, then omunye umuntu sokungekwazi ukumaka ukuthi no lento ayigqokile i-wrong, which is not right because everybody chooses what they want to wear.
Yes.
Then bona nasebebona umuntu owesifazane egqoke something sebecabanga ukuthi i-wrong into ayigqokile kusho ngezindlela bafuna umkhethela ukuthi agqokeni. Then nabesuka lapho, which is yona le social network futhi bahlala begadile kulo muntu ogadile amafoni ona labantu abaphethe bangabona anything, even ukuthi bancedise abakwanisa ukuncedisa into abayazi ukuthini. bathatha izithombe baphosele futhi ku-social network then round umhlaba wonke
bamyangise ngamandla.
Bamyangise ngamandla. Yikho khona ukuthi like
maybe PJ, before we continue, we can take our lawyer so she can help us at least debate on what we're seeing happening, if those people that had the images posted actually have a right to sue.
Yes.
Ms. Rachel Chibaya, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, we have our two guests here, but we'll just fire off with you due to time. What's your view? How can women actually protect themselves, or can they protect themselves from what we've seen happening on the internet, especially where, women are being portrayed negatively and their videos going viral?
Yes. Actually, I encourage women to utilize the courts, to utilize our courts to institute or to litigate.
Hello, Mr. Chibaya. Ms. Chibaya, can you move around? Your network the line is not very good. I spoke to you earlier on and you sounded, really good. Right now, can we try again? You can go again.
All right.
Yeah, that's better.
I'm saying I need to encourage women to litigate and to make use of our courts, to approach our courts and try and bring the perpetrator to book. I'm actually holding the Constitution of Zimbabwe, particularly on the Bill of Rights. If I may refer you to section 66 of the Constitution, which talks about freedom of movement and residence. Subsection 2 says every Zimbabwean citizen and everyone else who is legally in Zimbabwe
Hello,
Ms. Zimbabwe. So as I'm looking at that video that we watched, we noticed that girl being harassed, being hindered. She couldn't move from one point to another. So in a way, her rights were being infringed there. Her right to move freely in Zimbabwe, we have seen those rights being infringed by a certain Zimbabwean just like that. So I encourage women to approach courts, to approach us legal practitioners, which can help them when you're victim in such circumstances, so that we do litigation on their behalf.
Ms. Chibaya, I'm going to ask you to just maybe move, or we'll call you back, because your line, you're really giving us very valid points that our listeners would like to hear. But it's not coming out very well. So maybe put your phone down and we'll call you right back.
All right.
Thank you. All right. PJ, you heard Ms. Chibaya pavari kutaura ivo kuti aiwa kana munhu aona asangana nedambudziko irori rekuti atorwa mufananidzo uye mufananidzo wake uri kuiswa padandemutande reinternet kana WhatsApp, anogona kuenda kumagweta saivava muzvare Chibaya kana kumwewo kuti anotaura, asi sekutaura kwandamboita navo tisati tauya pachirongwa, vati zvakakosha kuti uende kunomhangara kumapurisa sechinhu chekutanga kuitira kuti pavhurwe dhoketi wozoenda iwewe kune gweta, kuitira kuti gweta rizotora nyaya iyi richiona kuti rozvifambisa sei, voenda kukoti here kana kuti voita sei. Saka ndo zvavari kukurudzira kuti aiwa madzimai ngavasatya kunomhangara kumapurisa sei mwanasikana watakaona uyu. Zviya zvakaitika pazvanga zvapera ainge akaenda kunomhangara kumapurisa ndokunge asina povhurwa dhoketi ozoenda zvino kunobatsirwa nana muzvare Chibaya ava magweta epamusoro-soro.
Ndo zvatanga chitaura, that's what we were talking about with Nomsa before we took on Ms. Chibaya. That there are two issues here, especially of that young girl.
Yes. The
violation of her rights to wear a miniskirt. And then the posting of that video, making it viral and accessing, a lot of people accessing it internationally, whole world. So there are two issues here. Who should you tell
I think I actually have a response for you there, but I'll wait for Ms. Chibaya to respond, because I asked her that question before we actually came on the program. She said, there are different laws that govern different actions, but she will speak when we get on the phone. But we seem to have Ms. Tariro Makanga from SAF AIDS. Ms. Makanga, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I know you're very busy preparing for Christmas, but if you can just give us your take on what we've seen happening on social media, especially on the case of the young girl who was accosted by Mawindi.
This is actually a very worrying trend, marvelous, that we are seeing, where I think society is in a way condoning a lot of abuse that is happening to women. There was a march that women did against these Mawindi, the tout. Really, when any woman passes through a rank, the rank marshals, anybody who is there, they are whistling, and now it has even gone to the extent where they verbally abuse that woman, they tear away their clothes. People then, instead of helping that person, we are actually having people who are actually recording those videos, and after that they are circulating them. This is really a worrying trend that we are seeing in Zimbabwe. And as for us as SAF AIDS, as an organization that is concerned with women's issues, women's rights, this is an issue for concern that we are really saying, I think the authorities, this is now the time that we really need to act. And I think we need to come up with punitive measures of really finding out who is that person who was the first person to circulate that video. I know last week when, early this week when we had that, another issue of a video as well where some woman was recorded after she was allegedly caught cheating, and then the family, when they were divorcing her, they recorded that whole episode and also circulated that on social media. And then you have got this woman who's been stripped naked. If we are circulating, what message are we really saying? Are we losing that social fabric that we have as Zimbabweans, that spirit of Ubuntu, that spirit of even saying, if I see something negative being done to or any harm happening to somebody, I'm supposed to be helping that person instead of using my phone to record and having the joy of circulating it. And you even ask yourself, what is the purpose of circulating that video? Because for me, if I'm going to record that video, I am actually saying I'm gathering evidence and take it to the police so that they're in a position to identify the culprit instead of circulating on social media and embarrassing that person in the process.
Okay, Tariro, Ms. Makanga, before I let you go, I know you're busy. The fear here is it's not only men that are circulating those videos. What are you educating women to do? Because if they come in, possession of a video that they think will go viral, are you discouraging women from circulating? Because it's not only men that are doing this, it's both women and men that are posting these viral videos.
Yes, it's actually both women and men. That's why I'm saying, as a society, there is something that has gone wrong with us. Because we are not only seeing, even if you look at the women, they're actually laughing at that fellow woman.
Some of them, some of them were actually laughing at her.
Yes, you actually see the other women laughing, and even we might actually even be shocked to eventually discover that it was a fellow woman who actually recorded that. So what I'm liking is we are starting to see the women's movement in Zimbabwe really standing up, and tomorrow they are going to be meeting and coming up with a way forward, because now we are saying this is the time that we need to start serious negotiations, serious dialogue, serious discussions with women so that we do empower each other and give women that power to say we can stand up for each other. Even the other video that I was talking about, it is the other woman who's actually embarrassing this fellow woman. And we've seen a lot of women, even if you see the discussions that are happening on social media, you're actually seeing other women condoning the other women. And you really ask yourself to say, where are we going? We can't even stand for each other.
Thank you, Ms. Makanga. We'll have to either put you on hold because we're transitioning now. But for our web listeners, you can catch us on www.voazimbabwe.com. And for our guests, Ms. Chifamba and Ms. Chibaya, please also stay on our line. And also our valued listeners, please stay on the line. This is Marvelous. Mhlanga Nyahuye. Rambai Makabata.
Ubambe khonapho ecingweni omunye la esilaye kuhlelo lethu la lamhlanje. Kubalaleli bethu be-radio siyalivalelisa okwamanje, asidibaneni ngeviki elizayo. Ngu-Praxedis Jeremiah. Kodwa ke siyaqhubeka www.voaindebele.com.
Welcome again to the Women's Roundtable Ngati Kurukurei Madzimai this Thursday evening, where we have a really lively debate where we're discussing the incidence of viral videos on social networks portraying women negatively. And we're just having a take from some of our guests who have been contributing here, PJ, where they've also been sharing that they are going to be having workshops to make sure that this does not continue. What are your views on this issue? Please call us.
Kwabasanda usixhuma singumsakazo we-Studio 7 lapha ke sikuhlelo ole live talk asihluzeni bomama. Lamhlanje lapha sikhuluma ngezinto esezenzakala ngokuza kwemitshina leyi yangalezi insuku i-technology lapho esihlangana khona enkundleni zebulenjini kubo Facebook la ku WhatsApp lapho esithumelana khona imifanekiso yama-video, imifanekiso ethathwayo abantu gqokanga kuhle kumbe bangekho esimeni esihle. Khathesi sikhuluma nje kulama video angu-2 abe viral emavikini amabili edluleyo kamama lo kade saliwa kanye lo ntombazana odatshulelwe izigqoko ngoba etholakale egqoke iminiskirt ngabo Windy eHarare. Yeah.
Maybe to continue, we'll pick off with Miss Rachel Chibaya, our lawyer in the house. We lost you earlier on in the first half of the program because of the phone. Are you back with us, Miss Chibaya?
Yes, I'm back online.
Okay. If you can just continue on your point, you were talking about the Constitution and how women can actually use it to protect themselves.
Yes. Actually, let me take you to because I was talking about the law.
Yes.
Let me refer you to our Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act.
Yes.
Particularly on the video of that lady, of that girl was being pulled around and being with her clothes being thrown up and down. I'll refer you to Section 67 of the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act. That was purely indecent assault on her part. And the section says, if I may read it to you, subsection 1A says, a person who, being a male person, commits upon a female person any act involving physical contact that will be regarded by a reasonable person to be an indecent act other than sexual intercourse or anal sexual intercourse or other act involving the penetration of any part of the female person's body of his or her body. Or blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. I'll continue on another paragraph with indecent intent and knowing that the other person has not consented to it or realizing that there is a risk or possibility that the other person may not have consented to it. It goes on and on. My point is this is an offense.
Yes.
That it is an offense and the charge being indecent assault. Those indeed, they committed an offense. My point is they must be brought to book. There must be a case opened against them. So
Miss Chibaya, maybe if you can just Miss Chibaya, if you can take us through the steps of, what steps should someone take, especially in the case of the young lady. If she wanted to report her case, take us step by step on what she should do.
That's
so that
I'm going now.
Thank you very much.
Yes. It takes the victim to approach the police and lodge a complaint. And then the police will start investigating from there. And then she will identify the perpetrator. This person will be arrested, or all those guys will be arrested. So earlier on, I put a post on this other platform to say, if anyone knows this lady, please tell her to come to my offices
so that I accompany her to the police and we lodge a complaint. We open a docket against these perpetrators. I know if we are to go to the rank where this was happening with the police, she would be able to pick 2-3 guys who did that to her. Because when we had a video that I saw. So with that video, let's take it there and do something about the case, not just circulate videos. Because the moment I received, because I got this video through my cousin who's based in South Africa early in the morning, and she was like, Auntie, I want this video. That what video? And then she then tagged me on Facebook. After seeing this video, I couldn't forward it to anyone. I had to put it on Facebook and say, guys, let's do something about this. It's not something that you see and start circulating it for people to have a look. No, we need to act on it. Yes, I noticed that girl is young, probably 20 or so. Maybe she might think I'm not writing, and maybe she doesn't know that much that she's got right to go and report. So as women, let's support each other. I felt so to me, I felt hurt, and then I said to myself, what can I do to assist? Yes, I'm a legal practitioner. Yes, I'm a woman. But what as a human being, what can I do to help this lady? And as a legal practitioner, what can I do without looking at charging fees and all that? We need to report this matter, because I can't go to the police and say, I've come to report a matter that I've just seen on the video. But if the perpetrator, if the victim is there to say, look, I've come to open a docket. This happened to me. They know, the police, they know this is indecent assault, and the act is clear on the punishment on that. So I'm saying, let's encourage, let's mobilize, let's make this be known to women that you've got rights to report this, because it's an infringement of our fundamental human rights, as I stated when I started. But look, we've got this act here, which you can use straight away without even going to the Constitutional Court first. Let's do this as soon as this matter is reported. Something will be done immediately. And as the women organization, we can also come in to see what is going on this case. This case was reported yesterday. What's happening? Are there any arrests? This and that, you see. So I think we need to do that. We mustn't use the internet to circulate things just for fun.
Let me come in there, Ms. Chibaya, because there was also a question that what about the person who posted or took the video? Are they committing a crime, or even the people that are circulating it? Can they be charged?
On that one, it's very tricky, because look, I also posted that video on my wall. But when I posted it, my intention was not to celebrate or for people to have fun. I posted it for other people to know, because if it wasn't for my cousin who posted it to me, I wasn't going to be able to know what happened, because I never read about it. I never got a chance to see this video up until I got it from my cousin. So if we start saying, no, we need to get those people who are posting arrested, we need to look at this case with a different angle. Because on this one, we take it as a whistleblower, so to say. This is what happened on Saturday. Maybe that person got it from someone else, but maybe your point goes to this person who was recording as it was happening. To me, the person, if he or she did not do anything about it, that person can be called as an accomplice, because you can't record such an indecent assault to keep it to yourself. After recording, what then did you do with that video? I think as a normal person will then take that video to the police and say, look, I just witnessed this. So that we don't take you as an accomplice, because if you don't then report it, it means you were part of it. You were recording as they were assaulting this lady. So you're actually encouraging them, because you're following them up, because as you noticed, this person was actually following each and every way this lady was going in and out of the combi. So after recording, what did he or she do with the video? No, not supposed to go to the police. And
Okay, I think Ms. Chibaya will just put you on hold while we just take our caller, Dr. Malon Nyakabao. Dr. Nyakabao Makadi. Nhare yenyu Dr. Nyakabao ndoisi kunyatsoita zvakanaka, fambai mbijana.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Iri kuda kuita jairosi nhare. Regai timboni titore tichakufonerai musakatai zvenyu foni tokufonerai nekuti toda kunyatsonzwa kuti kubva kwamuri michiremba kuti zviri kufamba sei.
Nomsa nkosazana Nomsa lokuconnecting wena nyetemba. Sihlanganiswe even wena lami sihlanganiswe inkundla le network eFacebook. Ihle kakhulu ukuhlanganisa abantu. Kodwa ke ngalezi insuku sikhanya vele siyiyo esisetshenziswa ukudiliza imizi, ukudiliza imuli.
Yeah, I think kakhulu ezinye izinto ongafanelanga zifike ebantwini ngendlela errong. Like recently, like this week, like UK, somebody passed away, and somebody just got hold of their photo, and they just circulated, and they said the family didn't know. Why is the family you? And they through the WhatsApp message, and the photo circulated. Till I sent it to somebody else, I'm thinking they were looking for this family and stuff like that. Then someone said, "No, the people know, the family know, and they're even wondering who's circulating that video." We don't know where it came from, the initial way it initially came from. But that's what people do when we get something like that, and we're honestly thinking that this is what people want. They want to find out about the person who's passed away. They want to find their relatives, because apparently this person was doing the living jobs. Which was, well, when it comes to that, you feel so guilty about everything, but that's how bad it is. But if it was for the good that we managed to find the family, and they were really looking for the family, it was going to be good. But at some sense, it turned out that the family knew that their loved one had passed on.
But sometimes we are supposed to wait until the whole family has been told. But we are so excited, and we just post these things. That's the work of the social network, but sometimes it impacts on the families negatively, and sometimes it's for the use of the disseminating information. Wena-ke ubona njani ukuthi senzeni-ke ngodaba ikakhulu olukantombazana lo odajulelwe izigqoko? Ngubani okumele asiwe emthethweni?
I don't know much about the law. Well, if kuthiwa yimi I was in charge, we'll see. Okay, it's obvious those people need to be brought to book for whatever, for the offense they've committed. Because if it was their sister or their child, because some of them are old men, they are doing that to that person. It's not right. It's never right. Then they should be thinking what the family of that person is thinking and how humiliated that woman. I think she'll never be out in the street for some time. Because you feel like you're not safe. You're going in the daylight and something like that happens to you. How are you going to feel? You never feel safe.
Even abantwana bakalo mama lo waliweyo akade kuma divorce proceedings awe culture yethu. Abantu abakhe khathesi lanxa bangaya esikolo bazabe bebizwa ngegama lika mama akhe ukuthi umama lwana ongazibekanga.
Yeah, they will be bullied for life. That's a fact.
Yes, actually, I agree with you there, Ms. Neke, because we see when we look at the social media, sometimes we forget about the people that are behind the person who's actually being portrayed on the social media.
Yeah, the family involved.
Like you're saying, the kids will forever be bullied because now where they are, they'll be pointed. That's the one with the mother who was on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, you
know.
So
they don't have their own identity now. They are carrying their mother's identity.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we'll go back to Miss Chifamba. Tinenge tambokubatisa ifoni kwengo yakati Miss Chifamba makadi. Mukatitsanangura kuti mune zvirongwa here zvamuri kuita nevanasikana kunyanya muchivadzidzisa kuti vangashandise sei dandemutande irori reinternet kuti vasazowanikwe vachiwana mapicture avo kana zvavanenge vataura zvazadzwa izvo painternet. Noti tinoona kuti vamwe vechisikana vadiki vanotumira mamwe mapicture vasina kusimira, vasingazive kuti zvinozopinda mumaoko asiriwo. Pane zvirongwa zvamunazvo here?
Tinazvo zvirongwa zvakati wandei zvatiri kuita, sekuziva kwamunoita kuti shamwari yemwanasikana tinoshanda tiri munharaunda yatinoti pachirungu community based organization, nekuti sekutaura kwazvamboitwa natariro achitaura paya, tiri kuona kuti rimwe dambudziko riri kuitika vanhu vechidzimai, ana amai vevanasikana vakazhinji kachona, vamwe vacho vari kuonekwa vachipindirawo munyaya idzodzo. Sepapa tataura kuti vamwe vacho vatinoona vachipembedza nekuridza miridzo vanhu vechidzimai vari kutadza kuchengetedza nekuvharidzira vana vavo vasikana. Zvirongwa zvatinazvo zvekutanga zvachona ungade kuziva kuti takaona kuti zvinhu izvi hazvisi kungobata vana vati kure vakumagrade 1 2, tinototanga kubata vana vaya vari kuendeswa kumapreschool, nekuti kazhinji vabereki vari kubatikana nenyaya yekutsvaga mari, havasisina nguva yekugara pasi nevana vavo. Saka tine zvirongwa zvatiri kuita nevana vane makore anenge ari pa4 kusvika pa8 vari vakomana pamwe chetepo nevasikana, kuti kana tichiona kunyange pazvivhitivhiti chaizvo vana havazivi. Paya patinoti tinoita yatinoti pachirungu parental control, vana ivavava dzimwe nguva munoshamisika nemuitiro wavo. Toda kuvadzidzisa zvinhu zvakanakira maziso avo nezvinogona kuzovakanganisa mangwana, nekuti vakanga vaona zvakadaro vangabatsirike sei. Tozoita zvakare kuvasikana vedu vaakune maclubs edu atinoti paushamwari hwedu aya, tine platform yatakagadzira kune vaya vari paWhatsApp kuti tikwanise kutaura navo mukana wekuti kunze kwekutaura nyaya dzekusimudzirana nekuvaisa panzvimbo yekusimukira sevasikana, tiri kutaurawo zvakare nyaya idzodzidzi dzekuti dandemutande riri kutikanganisa. Apa paWhatsApp vanosangana vari venzvimbo dzakasiyana-siyana muno muZimbabwe vachitaura nyaya chaidzo dzavari kusangana nadzo, nekuti mukukura kwavanoita takaona kuti vabereki havadi kutaura nevana nyaya idzi. Dzimwe nguva inyaya yechishona chatakakudzwa nacho chinenge chiti ungataurire mwana kuti ukazenga wakutora mifananidzo yako uchiisapo ikazoonekwa zvinozoguma zvashata. Vabereki vanotya, sekungotya kwavanoita kuti paya patinotaura nyaya dzekuti vana vari kubatwa zvibharo vanongotaura kuti musazoti kana marara nevakomana mukangogumira ipapo havavataurire kuti ukarara nemukomana kune zvirwere zviriko, ukarara nemukomana zvinodai, vanogumira munzira. Saka tiri kushandisa WhatsApp platform yatiri kuita club yepaushamwari hwedu inobata vasikana vese vanokwanisa kuwanikwa paWhatsApp kuti titaurane kuti aiwaka vakomana vanogona kuvanyengedza vana vachiri vana vadiki, asi mubereki agone kutaura nemwana nekuti anotaura kuti inyaya dzisingataurwe nadzo kumwana. Tochienda zvakare kuvana ivavava, nekuti vamwe vari kwamupinyi wasvodogoka kunze kumaruzevha uku, asi vanhu vanovanyengedza nekuti dzimwe nguva pavanotorwa vatozivi kuti chii chiri kuitika, anotofunga kuti ndiri kuitirwa zvakanaka.
Ndombopindira ipapo muzvare chifamba kuti munoshanda sei nevana vanenge vari kwatingatiko kwamataura kumamisha nekumwewo kwakadaro, munoshanda navo sei muchivapa zvidzidzo izvi?
Vana vari kumamisha tinotoita zvekuendako, nekuti zvatambotaura kuti tinoshanda nenharaunda, takatora mukana wekudzidzisa atinoti macommunity development committee, nekuti takaona kuti ukaenda kumamisha uku ukanga wabata mudzidzisi, ukabata sabhuku, ukabata mambo, ukavaisa panzvimbo pamwe chete, ndo mudzidzisi waunogona kuita vana. Saka vana ava tinovabata pamuzinda wamambo nekuti tine maclub atinoita zvakare achiitirwa mumusha, tovadaidza vari pamuzinda wamambo vari pamwe chete. Paya patinotaura nyaya dzekuti vangazvichengetedze sei sevasikana kubva mukubhinywa, tichivataurawo zvakare nyaya yekushandiswa kunyange kwezvinodhaka, totaura nyaya iyoyi yekushandiswa kwedandemudande, kuti munogona kunge musingazvizive, dzimwe nguva zvinotoitika kwavari vasingazivi kuti vari kukanganisika. Tochiita zvakare patinotora paya kuti tinoenda mumachechi, nekuti takaona kuti tikangotaura kutaura nezveivava kuvabereki tinovaonera kupi nekuti kazhinji vanenge vari munguva yakabatikana tinovateera kumakereke kwavanenge vari ikoko tichishandisa tinoti maambasadha emakereke kuti titaure nezvenyaya idzi kuvabereki kuti kunyange mukazviramba zviri kuitika.
Aiwa tombokumisai muzvare chifamba PJ muzvare chifamba there is really talking about some of the programs they are having as an organization to try and educate the young girls as young as preschool up to, you know, teenage years.
Yeah.
And she's saying they're touching all children, those in the urban areas and the rural areas, to educate them on what we are
because
seeing
we
happening.
give our children these smartphones,
Yes,
and they can access the internet, and some of the things are not fit for them, for their eyes.
Yes,
as she was saying. But all the programs that she was mentioning, starting from preschool, it also applies even to older women.
Yes,
because this is a new concept which has just come into our hands, this smartphone, the internet, Facebook and WhatsApp.
Yes.
So people are so excited. They don't know that at the same time they are actually going against the law by posting some of these things. And they also make themselves vulnerable by posting these or sexting.
Yes, you're right. That's the teenage word.
Yeah, sexting. And sometimes it so happens that if you are a couple, you're still in love, you post to each other nude pictures, but when the affair ends, the one who is scorned is bound to post these pictures. So how can we help our women? How can we help our teenagers?
I think that's what we heard from Miss Fungai Machirori earlier on. She was talking about sometimes putting some controls, but I'll be interested in hearing from our lawyer in the house,
Chibaya.
Miss Chibaya, if you can take PJ's question. Hello, Miss Chibaya.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, PJ has a question for you.
Yes.
I was just saying that how do you control a situation whereby you were a couple and you were texting each other nude pictures or videos, but now that the affair is ended and one of the scorned people in the affair just starts posting those private videos and pictures?
Yes. To answer you on that, I'll go to the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Again, on our Bill of Rights. On that particular aspect, we've got a section that talks about rights to privacy. That will be Section 57 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Subsection B. It says every person has the right to privacy, which includes the right not to have the privacy of their communications infringed. So this is the law we've got. So we need to utilize it. We need to approach the courts. The courts will not come to us. We have to go to the courts and say, look, I got this right, my right which was infringed. We need to seek legal advice firstly. That's why we legal practitioners are there. But what is important for women to know is that they have to have that knowledge that there is a law that protects all those things against them. So in the moment they know that there is such a particular law, they can then utilize it by approaching the courts through us lawyers. So my recommendation for the organizations that are advocating and lobbying for women's rights to try and educate women, try and let them know that the Constitution covers them. We've got these clauses in our own Constitution. So we don't have to act as if we do not have laws in Zimbabwe. We've got good laws in Zimbabwe.
Tiri ipapo muzvare Chibaya muchabva mangozobatana na muzvare Chifamba moenda muchinovapa muchizeya nezvamuri kutaura izvi kuvasikana vavo, ndofunga vangafara chaizvo
zvikuru.
I actually work with women across Southern Africa.
Okay.
Because this is an NGO, because I am in private practice. So I'm not really that limited, but I'm open to help these other organizations if I create that time and work with my diary, so that I also contribute to my society without charging. Well, I'm not saying I'm not going to be charging, but we've got a certain level of how we operate with NGOs to try and help and send a message to those people, to those women who do not have such kind of information, because as a legal practitioner, I'm privileged to know all these things. But people out there, the public, they need to know. So we need to assist them.
Ms. Chibaya, I think I'll
approach me and
Ms. Chibaya,
what we can do.
We're going to put you on hold for just a minute while we take time. Bongetina Dr. Malon Nyakabau phone yavo nhare yavo yanga isingaite zvakanaka vanenge vadzoka PJ.
Usati wataura nawo woti ngiti mfahlanga mancane nge 30 seconds kupela ukuthi umbuzo kade ngimbuzile lapho ukuthi nxa lisathandana litekiselana ama-pictures kumbe ama-videos wona lawo lingagqokanga kumbe lisendaweni engenziyo. Unkosazana Chibaya oligqwetha uthi yena hambani emthethweni ngoba livikelekile isisekelo sombuso esitsha sitsho ukuthi nxa i-picture yakho i-video yakho ingaphunyiswa ngomunye umuntu osuyalane laye ulakho kumusa emthethweni. Umthetho kasuzubuye kuwe kodwa wena yana emthethweni.
Aiwa Vanyakabawo tokuchingamidzai pano pachirongwa.
Tinotenda chose aopunda kunzwika.
Aiwa iye zvinezvi muri kutoita kunge muri muno muWashington. Kwakadii muri kupi?
Ndiri kutaura ndiri kuChinoi.
Aiwa tinokuchingamidzai, tinoziva kuti makambotishanyira muri pachirongwa cheyali, asi nhasi tombotaura nemi muri kuChinoi uko. Titsanangurewo maonero enyu enyaya dziri kuitika idzi.
Alright, sure, tinotenda nemukana. Chekutanga chatingada kutaura ndechekuti pari panhau ye-social media iyi, chokwadi ndechekuti social media it is a tool. It is a tool that can be used for good and for bad. I think there's such a thing as responsible use of social media. If we can go back to the incidents that happened this afternoon, that very shameful incident in which we are all very much deeply disturbed. It is unfortunate that the use of the camera phone and the use of the social media, people who were recording, they were focusing the camera on the wrong areas, where they could have been focusing the camera on aiding the authorities to identify the people, the perpetrators. And that if the goal was to record it as evidence, so that we can then help the authorities bring these people to book, because that is what we really need at this point. That this kind of behavior should totally be seen as unacceptable. And that and all that we are calling for is that the authorities take these touts to the full extent of the law. That justice be delivered. Because if we fail to set precedents now, what will stop these gentlemen, not gentlemen as such, what will stop these men from
they're not gentlemen.
No, we thank you very much.
Now.
Yes, we thank you so much, Dr. Nyakabau. I think we'll actually call you later on because you seem to be having a very different view, but time is not on our side, so we will have to say goodbye to you, but we really thank you for giving us your view. PJ, maybe we'll just wrap up with our other guests.
Nkosazana Nomsa inkuthazo ongasethulela yona kwabantu ikakhulu ebantwaneni bethu abangamantombazana ebantwaneni bethu bonke nje labasifazane internationally laseZimbabwe ekusebenziseni i-social network.
I think it what's really needed is awareness in social media, because like where I am right now, abantwana they know much about the social media than abantu abadala. Abantwana bazalelwa kuyo bakhulela kuyo, which is I think they understand it more than we do. Thina sakhula singayazi yonke lento, sahlangana nazo izalukazi abakhehla amadala. Then abantu they get too excited. I think abantu abadala they need more awareness than abantwana, because abantwana I think they are more aware than abantu abadala.
Hayi siyabonga kakhulu.
Twenda kuna muzvare Chifamba, mongoti tisati tapedzeserwa naGweta.
Ini ndanga ndichida kungoti nyaya iyi haisiye kungoti titarisane nevana vasikana chete sezvekuchinyanya.
Aiwa, tinotenda
tingobatanidza pamwe chetepo nevabereki vacho nevana vasikana vacho nevekumedia nemagweta, tobatana pamwe chetepo tione setingagadzirise sei, asi ngatiremekedze vana vasikana, tiremekedze madzimai.
Okay, time is not on our side. Join us again next week, same time on the Women's Round Table. And would like to thank our guests, Miss Ekenia Chifamba of Shamwari Mwanasikana, Miss Rachel Chibaya, lawyer with Soya and Mukushi. We also had Mr. Romakanga from Surf Aids and Mrs. Nomsa Neke from the UK, an activist. And we also had Dr. Malone Raf Nyakabao. Thank you. This is Marvelous Mhlanga Nyahuye.
Your Praxedis Jeremiah.